Well, I guess with going on with this, we can always go back to the other question. But Sheldon, tell us, do you have any experiences like that with the game that like you're really scared when you're a kid playing it, type of thing?
Games have always. I've watched horror movies since I could, as far back as I could remember. I could watch any horror movie. I love horror movies. I don't really get scared. Games, I can't even like touch. Like Doki Doki Literature Club, like fuck me. Nah, like I don't know. There's a game called, I know I mentioned it before. This was like a cartoony game too. It wasn't even scary. It was like Ghouls and Ghosts, I think.
Get grabbed by the ghoulies?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that shit fucked me up. I remember you were two kids that went to that mansion and they like kidnapped her and she like turned her into a monster. They kidnapped your sister and like turned her to some like mutated freak or something. It was like all cartoony, but when I was a kid, I freaked out. It was not cool.
One scary experience I can think of now.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first played RuneScape, right?
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
So I'm a noob, right? I'm like level 3 or whatever. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I remember I was just like walking through RuneScape. I don't know what the fuck's going on because I'm like super young, and I started getting attacked by a highwayman, right? Because those exist.
Yeah.
And they only attack noobs because they're supposed to stop bots. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just getting killed by this dude. And it's so bad too, dude. It's like slow. He's just chasing you around. He's walking around like poking you with a sword.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my strategy was like I hid behind a fence and I logged out.
Well, I mean, growing up, I wasn't really much of a scary kid. You know, like I actually kind of seeked that shit. Like I like to like be scared and stuff.
Yeah.
So I would do it to myself. You know, like some kids like Cody's like it's just like you wouldn't put yourself in that position. But my dumb ass was just like I know I'm about to be scarred for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But I think in a game like I don't think there was a game that really like did that to me. It was a lot of like movies, you know, like The Ring, The Grudge, you know, think like stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched the original It?
Yes. And,
Oh, yeah.
The original It is way spookier in my opinion.
I grew up on Stephen King movies, bro. Like,
Nice.
so it was like I got to watch like all this stupid shit, like Langoliers, fucking, fucking. Anyways. So when it comes to a game in particular, I mean, there's like a few games, you know, like The Suffering, like that was scary, or fucking Fatal Frame, like that one's scary too. But I think one in particular that I think like I gravitate the most, that like really fucked me up the most, was this random ass Flash game. I don't know. And it was called The House. I actually have the link right here. I'll drop it in general.
Drop that shit.
I'll drop it in general because I found it because I was thinking about it. I was like, dude, this fucking game scared shit. And it's a point and click, right? And it's pretty much the story of it is pretty much like you go to this house that like this man murdered his whole family, and like they're haunting the whole house, and you gotta like go through the house and like do all this bullshit. And in the end, you find like the dead wife, and she like does a jump scare. It's just, you know, some stupid shit. But the funny thing about the story is that I didn't play this game alone, nor did I actually even play it. We were in my computer class and we're sitting there bullshitting, and one of the homies is playing it, you know, and so he has like the whole fucking classroom like surrounded his computer because they're watching this fucking dude play this scary game. Mm-hmm. And so we're getting through it, everybody's screaming, you know, because it has like filtered jump scares throughout the whole like game. And then at the end, like this fucking bitch, like you're looking down a hallway, right? Mm-hmm. And you're trying to like point and click and get through it, and this bitch shows up out of nowhere, standing at the end of the hallway, and the lights are flickered and shit, right? Uh-huh. And like so you're clicking around, trying to turn on the lights and shit. And as you turn off the lights and turn it back on, she gets closer to you. So as you're turning it on and off, like she's getting closer and closer, and then eventually she gets to the point where she disappears after you turn it on. And so you're supposed to turn the lights off and then turn them back on, and she's like right there. And like I remember I was watching the homie do this shit, and I like dipped out of the class. I said but the thing is that like the game inherently wasn't so like thinking back at it, it wasn't really so scary. But the thing that really fucked me up is that there was this this scene in specific that's like a bathroom scene, right? And you're supposed to click your way through it, and one of the events is that the bathroom, the tub fills up with blood, and this fucking long-haired bitch comes out of the fucking blood and looks at you, and then disappears, and then jump scare with his hand like comes out of nowhere and like slaps the screen and like bloody hand. Like it's cheesy as fuck, right? Like if you play it now, you probably look at it and be like, bro, like why are you so scared? But it scared me so bad that I couldn't go to the bathroom. Like I had to make sure everything, like all my ducks were in a row. Like when I took a shower, I had to make sure that like nothing was behind me, nothing was in the fucking house or anything. Like it scared the shit living piss out of me. But like, yeah, if you guys like have time to kill, like it's probably like a good like 15 minutes. Like
Okay.
it's interesting.
Okay.
One game that had burned itself into my memory. I was 5 years old when this happened. And fucking my sister was playing this game. It's called Seventh Guest. It's a puzzle horror game. And like it's, you know, you're in this spooky haunted mansion. You can't leave until you solve all the puzzles. Fucking she goes up the stairs, and like I'm watching, you know, it's like a point and click adventure, and I'm watching her, and she clicks on this painting above the stairs, and I'm like, it's a painting. What could it possibly do? It fucking, a face and two hands just press out against the painting, and like this cheesy ass horror movie shtick. But that fucking spooked the shit out of me. I screamed and ran out of the room, and I was crying to my dad. I was like, I'm so scared.
Yeah.
I think I've got possibly the first time I was ever really scared in a game, very vividly. Just like, I don't think anyone's ever played Rayman 3 ever, have they? Besides me.
No, I wasn't a Rayman kid. Sorry.
No.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that popular. I mean, the more popular one was 2 anyway, but I remember there's these like enemies that are actually invincible that you can't beat called the Canarians. So there's like these giant like hooded figures. And the first time I ever saw one was really scary. But there's this part where you're trying to get over this huge like hallway with like 5 of them in it, all lined up. And I remember for the longest time I couldn't get past it, but you're supposed to scale up a wall and go above them. But I remember I was not only stuck on that part, but it was also really scary because and not only when you can't hurt them, but when you try to even get around them, they'll have this like force field like completely like this around them. So I couldn't even get past the 5 people even if I tried. They'll pretty much just kill you. And I remember that was like really scary for a little Griffey.
I do feel like that the like games are like very, like I remember like something very vivid for me anyway. It was like Bowser in Mario 64. That shit was fucking insanely scary growing up. You know, just that you know, just those dumb sounds and stuff. But anyway, Victor, you're up to bat.
While we're on the topic of scary games, dude, the first one I ever bought that actually I couldn't play was Luigi's Mansion, dude.
Oh, dude.
I remember when
I was
bought
scared of that game too.
Yeah.
I remember when I bought it too. I bought it. There's like we went to church in Hawaii, and there's like a GameStop near the church. I'm like, come on, let's go. Like, let's take me to the GameStop, and I got Luigi's Mansion, and that shit was too freaky, man. I was like, no way. Like the main guy, dude, like the guy that made the fucking vacuum, he was too creepy.
Oh, dude, Professor Egad, dude. I will agree that first scene of him like walking in the mansion and Egad just like waving and he is slowly opening the door. You know how he does. It's just I do agree with you on that. That will always give me. You know, that will always give me. So.
Oh my God, Ron.